Henry, founder of the Victim Support Foundation, Brooks Douglas of Evan Range Productions, members of the Victim Support Foundations, specially invited guests, members of the media, good morning. It is my pleasure today to bring to you greetings on behalf of the High Commission of Canada and by extension from my government, the Government of Canada, at the launch of the Community Support Project by the Victim Support Foundation. Your program is being funded by the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives, a program that was created by the Government of Canada to strengthen local communities by supporting small but innovative projects. The funds provides financial assistance mainly to NGOs, institutions and community, religious groups. Funding is used to carry out small community development projects, providing technical, economical, educational, cultural, or social development assistance in the local populations. This falls under Canada's approach to security cooperation, and it continues its engagement in America. Canada cares about security in the Caribbean, and it's one of its prime objectives. Why? Because without security, there is no freedom. Without security, human rights are being violated. Without security, democracy is in danger. Without security, development and economic growth becomes a challenge. Security is not only the responsibility of a government. Security is not only the responsibility of law enforcement authority. It is the responsibility of our communities. It is the responsibility of us all. This project is about building a strong community culture in order to improve their sense of security by neighboring watch, for instance. It's about assisting victims of violent crime in accessing the necessary resources and to help them heal. Your goals of supporting victims through emotional, practical support and aftercare is essential to restore justice and the victim rights. Promoting awareness of the plight of victims at the community level is very important, not only for the victim themselves, but for the community as a whole. Communities must get together and take their collective responsibility for their neighbors and restore the well-being of those who have suffered from violent crime. Too often, victims are left alone, helpless, and nowhere to turn. No foreseeable recourse, feeling alienated in the very community and area when they are being victimized. We have the tendency, governments have all the tendency of funding considerably law enforcement in order to provide security. This is obviously necessary, but security is wider than that. And government should come to fund more and more restoration of justice after the victims, people have been victims of so much crime, and support community at the local level. Your community can help a lot in building the security of your own community. By coming together, community can rally around their fallen brothers and sisters and offer them the support and comfort that is so badly needed in many of those cases. life of those who are victims of crimes can be broken forever if they don't find the necessary support. All for those who have been victims of most unfortunate circumstances, I can tell you with courage and with faith, with support of your community, you can overcome adversity. Writer and cultural anthropologist Ralph Bloom said, "The obstacles of your past can become the gateways that leads to new beginnings." I take this opportunity to applaud all those professionals who have been involved thus far to ensure the success of this venture. In every community, there is work to be done. In every nation, there are wounds to heal. In every heart, there is the power to do it. Say Marianne Williamson. I recognize the commitment of those involved in the programs that have given and continue to give their times and talents. It is this giving and sharing which is essential to the fostering of more caring communities and of hope and better futures. Projects like this one highlight the importance of voluntarism and the understanding that everyone has something to give and share. I can tell you that I understand you. I understand those programs. I personally have been through difficult situations as the one you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Finally, to you, Mrs. Laverne Henry, founder of Victim Support Foundation, I say a heartfelt congratulations and well done. Your passions and dedication for this foundation is at the root of its success. The motto, I understand that's your motto, victims to victors, which you so lovely espouse, should become the reality of all of those who are victims of a crime. It is my fervent hope that those who are involved in this project draw strength and courage from you, and you continue to fight the right of victims of violent crime in Trinidad and Tobago. This is needed in this country. In closing, I would like to wish you all the best in this venture as you strive to embrace all members of your community and become better neighbors. I leave you with the words of Virginia Burden. Cooperation is a thorough conviction that nobody can get there unless everybody gets there. Thank you. Bonne journée à tous.
Let's put our hands together again for His Excellency, General Matuli. I particularly like the fact that he stated, without security, there are no freedoms. And what comes to mind very much when we hear things like that, and it came to my mind as I sat there, was that both Laverne and Robert experienced this. They both understand personally what it means to not have security, what it means to have lost your freedom. And it is so interesting that because of that experience, we are all here today. Isn't that quite interesting? And I am particularly touched by that statement that the High Commissioner just made. So I understand also that what Laverne and Robert both experienced, because it has birthed this very, very dynamic group, Victim Support Foundation, that we can now feel and share some of the pain that they went through, but even more so, we can now become advocates along with them even changed our nation. Mrs. Laverne Henry, she founded Victim Support Foundation in January 2011. Of course, we know the story, many of us, after being a victim of a home invasion, robbery, physical and sexual assault back in 2009. As a businesswoman for the past 6 years, Laverne discovered the weaknesses of our social systems, while of course on her journey through this whole transformation. And of course her challenges birthed a passion within her and her husband to help the many victims who are out there, and we know they are out there. Some of them may be also in here. So I would wish that you would stand to your feet, and as we put our hands together and welcome to the podium Mrs. Laverne